and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
One thing that I learned about this game is that you can't skip the grind. You know what I mean? It's no off-season. There's no days off. You can't skip leg day. Can't skip arms. Can't skip chest. No off-season. It's no season. We taking off 3D. It steals the great. We cut from a different cloth. Them other podcasts, they clearly be taking shorts. We got it all covered. I'm talking music and sports. Crushing competitors. This not your regular 8 to 10 on Friday night. There's nothing out there sounding better, bruh. So take a seat, we kicking ass and taking names. Download the app for Bars and Hoops. We taking over the game.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
Where the world of hip-hop and sports live. Stills the great. Tiff Sosa. DJ JOJ on the ones and twos. No off season. Friday, 8 to 10. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We back at it again, my people.
Yo,
What's good?
What's up?
Shout out to Sosa in the building.
Hey guys.
First lady of no off season. You know what I'm saying? Heard up. Shout out to JOJ. Peace almighty.
Peace almighty.
Heard up, man.
We in the building. Yes, sir.
Indeed. Yes, indeed, man.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. So we got a great show lined up for y'all today. A lot been going on in the world of hip hop. A lot has been going on in the world of sports. You know what I'm saying? We had Cat Williams going viral last week.
Oh boy.
We had Sebastian Telfair going viral this week. And we're going to talk about it all. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know how we do, man. Before we get into all the shenanigans for the show, man, we definitely got to find out how your week was because it's a blessing for us to make it here today.
Yep.
And so we're going to start with you, ladies first.
Well, I had a good week. I had a pretty dope week. It kind of flew by, which was good.
Oh my God, too fast.
I got a little rest today. Did my little chores and all that stuff. Got it out the way. And I'm pretty much looking forward to enjoying the rest of the weekend. Did you hear anything about storms? I think tomorrow's gonna be nice.
Oh my God,
it's supposed to be raining
tonight.
Tonight.
Oh
yeah,
God.
That's how I was asking you. Are we still going? You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to make it
tonight.
We might have to make an executive decision. Jay, it's up to you, man.
Might be Netflix
snow.
and chill tomorrow. I don't know.
I was about to say, you had for me? Yeah. Now let me stop. Word. For real. Man, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, but other than that, I had a pretty good week. Went by quick. Here's, the weekend, my little 2 days. That's going to go by fast, but I'm thankful for them.
That's a fact.
And yeah, that's it. What about you, Jay?
And just like you, when you having fun, the week just blew by, man. Started off with Tiny. That was Tuesday, right?
Yes,
Tiny's birthday.
Talk about it.
Yeah, it went down. Oh, man. We had a ball, man. Freestyling. A lot of wild and food.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was popping, man. Shout out to Tiny. Happy birthday, all the Capricorns in the building.
Tiny.
You know what I mean? Then Thursday,
let's
go.
You
know what I mean? Hanging out with Steels.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean? Went to the Benny the Butcher album release party.
Dope.
Man,
How was it?
Ooh, that was
Talk about
super
it, Jay.
crazy, man. We had fun. I had the jacket on. I had like one of the main guys in there. I forgot his name. Oh, JB or JG. JG was his name. He came up to me. He was like, "Yo, man, your jacket is fire." Right there. Yeah. So we was talking about it. Still didn't have his jacket on. Should have had the jacket on.
I should have had it on.
The jacket on. Got to represent.
Shout out to Jay Remy on the check, and we see you. Go ahead,
you know
Jay.
what I mean? Champ, we seen Champ in the building, right? Steels, Champ was in the building, and we didn't start getting pictures. We didn't start getting noticed. We started speaking to Champ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes, man, you just gotta play the cut.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
You know. That's right.
For real, man. And we here, man. It's Friday. What about you, Steels, man? How was your week, man?
Man, I ain't gonna hold you, man. The week and my vacation has now come and it's almost officially done. After Monday, I will be back on the gravy train, which we call work. But, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Back to the world with us.
Well, shout out to everybody, man, checking in live on Facebook. Shout out to everybody checking out live on YouTube. Shout out to everybody listening directly on the app. You know what I'm saying? But like Jay said, the weekend's been cool. I mean, the week has been cool, but fast forward to the way he just was talking about, man, that Benny the Butcher event, man. Shout out to Benny. You know what I'm saying? The Butcher coming, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I still got my napkins.
Hey, man, shout out to Jay. Word up. But it was a really nice event, dope event. Shout out to my brother Superstar Jay. I'd be remiss if I don't, you know what I mean? Shout out the plug. You know what I'm saying? He lined it up, man. It was the second time we went to a Benny the Butcher event a couple of months ago. We went when he had another listening party with Esso and Heineken. at Sweet Chick. You know what I'm saying? That's when we was with Mega, Rob Bourne, Prince Wally. Everybody was there.
I missed that one.
Yeah, that one you missed. And that one was crazy. It was like stupid crowded. They had to move it to something bigger and something more private. That's why the setting was like that. It was more intimate. They cut the list after a certain time, and they just wanted people to come in there and actually get a good vibe of what the album was about. So it was a great event. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not an industry guy. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, throughout the years, I've been going to a lot of industry events and stuff like that. Yesterday was the first time I was actually really comfortable in the room. And like Jay said, we was just in our own zone chilling out. Like I said, he stood out just because he had his bars and hoops jacket on. People was looking like, yo, we never really seen these guys before. But then, again, like he said, once Champ came into the building and he came to check us, that's when all the attention started flying. Like, yo, who are those guys? You know what I'm saying? And then people started coming over, talking, small talk, taking pictures and stuff like that. So it was a great event. And that Benny the Butcher album, by the way, fire. Fire.
I have no doubt that it would be. He's fire.
Yeah. And I'm talking about from the beat selection, the producers that he did choose. It's strictly a hip-hop boom bap album. We already know that Griselda sound is vintage New York anyway. And he's not going to disappoint with this album. And like I told my brother Superstar J, man, shout out to Snoop Dogg, man, because if it wasn't for Snoop Dogg, Benny wouldn't be signed to Def Jam. All of this stuff would not be happening.
Really?
If it wasn't, exactly, really, if it wasn't for Snoop Dogg. And why is it Snoop Dogg? Because Snoop Dogg is the president of Def Jam.
Oh.
He said it in that song, I think. He
absolutely.
They got a song together, too.
Absolutely said it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, again, it took, and I say this because it always takes somebody from a different part of the country to put somebody from New York or to bring that New York sound back. And it took somebody like Snoop to actually bring that to the forefront by signing Benny the Butcher to Def Jam. Def Jam put a lot of money into promoting him and pushing this album. And I don't think that he's going to disappoint when you actually hear it. It's a really dope album. I heard every track. They spun it back twice so that you can hear it again and again. The second listen, it didn't disappoint. And I'm really anticipating on hearing it on my own without all the people around, where I could just have that intimate moment and bump it in the car to like really get a good feel of it. But from what we heard yesterday, it was great. As far as the week, you know, got a lot done, man. This training project for my son, I know I keep talking about it every week.
Yes, I'm so far so good though. I see. So far so good. I mean, I don't know how much more you have left, but from what I saw, you was on a good track. You was doing good.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It was a lot of work, and I'm still not done. I had to clear space because I had to make a table to actually hold the track. You know what I'm saying? Because it's electric. I had to get a special case made because the track is electric. It's really not for kids under the age of 8 years old. My son, of course, is 4, but he loves trains and he picks up fast and he learns. But his problem is he likes to touch. And with that train set, if your hands is wet and you touch that track, it's just like any other train in the city. You can shock yourself. So I've been, spinning my wheels trying to make it safe for him, make it nice for him, and then make it where it's easily accessible for him to not even want to touch the train, but just turn the knob slow or fast and watch it go around and do its thing. I got like a little automatic switch to change the track. So
that's dope.
Yeah. So I put a lot of work into it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's a lot, man. It's a lot that goes into it. So hopefully he likes it. He'll see it, when I see him next week.
Well, he gonna light up.
Yeah, he gonna light up for sure, man.
Yeah.
So that was the project for the week. But let's open up with what's happening this weekend. So for all my football heads out there, it is NFL wild card weekend. We're gonna start with the games on Saturday. Just give a real quick rundown on the games, and I guess we'll go around the table, see who you like. I mean, Sosa might give you some good gambling tips. You know what I mean?
Hey, you never know.
You never know. She might give you the right answer. So we're just going to go around really quick and see who they think going to win, because we know the Super Bowl is in February.
All right, but you got to tell me who's the candidates.
All right, so we're going to run around the table real quick, right? So tomorrow's first set of games, man, you got the Cleveland Browns heading to Houston to take on the Houston Texans with their rookie quarterback, who led the team to the playoffs for the first time, and he's black as well. And Cleveland has a good defense, but Houston has a good defense and a good offense as well. And they have home field advantage. So who do you think will win that game?
Well,
Sosa?
based upon the facts
Let's go.
and what you just said, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
JLJ, peace almighty.
Peace almighty.
Let me get loose. Let's get hot.
You said it's Cleveland versus who now?
Houston.
Houston? I'm going with Houston, man. I don't think the rookie can do it, man. That's a lot of pressure, man. Your first playoff game. I don't know if you'll be able to do it. I haven't been following football like that.
I always go for the underdogs.
You always go for the underdogs?
Yeah.
But I don't.
That's probably my problem. But
That's
anyway, that's another subject.
That's a lot of pressure for him.
So people are saying, Jay, you don't follow for real because you just said you're gonna go for Houston. So that means you're gonna ride with the rookie.
Oh, that's the rookie?
Yes.
Oh, that is the rookie.
CJ Stroud is his name, by the way, and he's not your ordinary rookie. He done broke every record known to NFL quarterbacks. He's not your ordinary rookie though, but
I'm gonna stay with him. I'm gonna stay with him then. That's
so you going for Houston?
Yeah, you're gonna go for Houston.
You want to bet?
Woo! Sosa.
I can do that.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, we can talk about it later. A bottle of wine or something. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it later.
Talk about it a little later. Boy, you know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
And the next game on the menu for tomorrow is the nightcap game. It's Miami heading into Cleveland. Now, we all know Miami's a beautiful place, and they blew the lead for the division title at the end of the season. So now they have to go on the road in possible hopes of getting to the Super Bowl. And we all know that historically, they don't play well in good weather. And guess what? Tomorrow in Kansas City, they said it's going to be blizzard-like
bad weather.
conditions. It's going to be really bad weather tomorrow night. And the Chiefs, they're not that great this year, but they still got Pat Mahomes, and they got a great defense. But Miami has an explosive offense. But again, the weather's going to be bad. So, Sosa, based off the facts that you've heard, where are you going with this one?
I think I'm still going to give it up and go with Miami.
Woo! Oh, boy. JLJ.
I'm with you on that too. Miami. Yeah.
Dirty rat. Oh, man. Well, for me, I can't go against Kansas City because one, they're home. Two, they have the championship pedigree. And, that weather is going to be a big factor. Mm-hmm. Because if you eliminate the passing game, like if you neutralize Tyreek Hill, I'm just giving people a little jewel. Tyreek Hill is the best receiver in the NFL right now. And if he can't get off because of the weather, then you make Miami a one-dimensional team where they're going to have to run the ball a lot. And I don't think that they can run against that defense a whole game in that weather. So I give the slight edge to Kansas City, but it's going to be a great game nonetheless. You know what I'm saying?
Miami been tough this year.
I love when I start talking my shit because now I'm going to watch it for real.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And moving on to Sunday, you got 3 games lined up on Sunday. Sunday's the day where everybody chill out, you know what I'm saying, and do what they do. And in advance, man, shout out to my brother George, man. His birthday is the 13th, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully we end up rocking out and doing something. But nonetheless, man, on Sunday, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into Buffalo, which is also supposed to be a horrible game weather-wise. And we all know Pittsburgh's defense travels. Buffalo, they've been getting back on stride, but it's going to be a tough game. So it's in Buffalo. The Bills are slightly favored. Sosa.
I'm going with the Steelers.
Go with the Steelers?
Sosa.
How could
Defense
you?
travels.
I'm going with the
We
Steelers.
just talked about Benny the Butcher. We going to Buffalo, man. Come on, let's go.
Shout out to Jay,
shit.
man.
All right,
Shout
I'm going
out
to
to
switch.
Bay
I'm going to
Street.
switch just because of that. I'm going to switch. I'm going to slide back over to the left. You just because you
Slide
made
to
that
the
good point.
Slide to the right.
Word up. So for me on that game,
Shout out to Tone,
I ain't gonna listen, man. I'm not gonna lie,
He going with the Steelers.
and I'm gonna tell you why. Cause the black man is gone. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. He wasn't supposed to make the playoffs with this team. He has suffered a bunch of injuries on his team, but they still managed to have a winning season with 10-7 as their record. And again, defense travels. Now, the only thing that may make me change that is because I think TJ Watt is hurt. And he's the anchor of their defense. So I may have to take that back, and I may have to go with Buffalo. Shout out to Benny. Shout out to Conway. Shout out to West Side Gun. Shout out to everybody on May Street. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Mo, who was here with us last week. You know,
Yeah.
this is guys too, man. So I might have to go with the Bills in a close game. You know what I'm saying? Because the problem is will Pittsburgh be able to score with Mitchell Trubisky? Oh, not even Mitchell Trubisky. It's the racists at helm. And shout out to Ronnie Thompson on the check-in. I see you, brother. Word up, man. So it's going to be a toss-up, but I think because of all the handicaps that Pittsburgh has, Buffalo may sneak out with a win. And the next game, which is in the middle of the day, shout out to Zai. The Green Bay Packers are playing the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Now, Dallas is favored, of course, because of their defense. The Packers not favored because, nobody expected them to be that good this year without Aaron Rodgers, but I think that Dallas may eke it out. What you think, Sosa?
Well,
let's go.
Because you just said that about the Packers, that they, kind of the underdogs. I would have normally went for them, but because I have a Cowboys jersey, I'm going to go for the Cowboys.
You have a Cowboys jersey?
Yeah, I needed a jersey for Jersey Day. It wasn't like I didn't on purpose be like, I just saw a jersey. I was like, it's blue. It's going to go with these jeans. Okay. And I got it. So shout out to the Cowboys. Y'all going to win.
Yeah. JLJ, who you going with?
I don't watch a lot, but my ears is to the street.
Let's go.
Everybody's talking about Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. So I'm going with the Cowboys.
Oh, God. You going with the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well,
what about you,
happy. Well, I already tell you, I think I'm going to go with Dallas because I just think that they're at home. They got the home field of it. I think it's just because they're at home, they're going to beat them. If it was in Green Bay, it'd probably been a toss-up for me, but Dallas has the better defense. They got the better quarterback for now, and I think that they got the better receiving core. So I don't think that it's going to be a tough game for Dallas. The whole thing is if they can control the tempo and run the ball, it's going to be a long day for Green Bay. But who knows, man? NFL is fixed, man. You know what I mean?
Right. Football is so soothing to me. Like I love to play like the game, even though I don't really watch it. Like I like listening to it. It's weird, right? Like the whistles, the commentators. I just like hearing it. I don't really be watching it, but sometimes I might tune in and I'll be like, all right, I'm lost again. So then I go somewhere else and, start doing something else, cleaning, whatever. But I like to listen to it. I could just relax and listen to it.
Get you hyped, lovely day in the Sosa household for man.
Like I really like to listen to it. Seriously. I like to see men get excited over sports. It's cute. When y'all act so silly, y'all get all excited. It's so cute. I'll make wings and stuff, I'll
That's
do
why
that.
you love bars and hoops.
So we might have to do a Super Bowl party here, man.
I'll make the wings.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. Shout out to Jay Remy on the check-in. I see you, bro. Word up. Don't forget, if you want to chime in, the number to call in is 516-206-0711.
Shout out to Jay Remy.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Remy. He was here the other day, and I heard the food was slamming, by the way.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Word up, man. For real. The cards is here somewhere. I know it's exotic treats or something like that, but I mean, shout out to Jay Remy and shout out to his business too, man. And the last game on Sunday night is a good one between the Los Angeles Rams, led by Matthew Stafford, going back to his former team, the Detroit Lions, who's made it to the playoffs for the first time in decades.
Wow.
And Jared Goff was also the former quarterback of the Rams, who led them to the Super Bowl, and they still traded him to Detroit to get Matthew Stafford. So the coach basically said that he wasn't good enough and Matthew Stafford was better. Now the two teams are going to face each other in a playoff series. Now, I'm not being biased here, but I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions because Dan Campbell got those guys playing great. The defense is playing well. They got a run game. And Jared Goff has been playing extraordinary this season. The Rams, on the other hand, they have a great defense led by Aaron Donaldson. You know what I mean? They do have a great quarterback, Matthew Stafford, but their receiver play has been shaky. Their running game has been mediocre, but they do have a good coach in Sean McVay. But after hearing the facts, Sosa.
Wait, okay, so the Lions and who?
The Lions are at home versus the Los Angeles Rams.
Well, just because I'm more familiar with the Rams, I'm just going to go with them.
Shut up. It's not a bad pick by any stretch.
Shout out to whoever's writing down whatever I say and betting on.
Make
sure you count me in when you get that bread.
That's Sosa's picks of the week.
Right.
JOJ.
Detroit, man. Detroit. Yeah, I'm going with them. Detroit. They've been looking strong this year. So
shout out to Jay, man. They have been looking strong. And it's going to be a wonderful game. And that's the game to cap off Sunday night. And the Monday night game is going to be between the Philadelphia Eagles, who are struggling, by the way, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have home field advantage. Even though they didn't play well this season, they did manage to win their division, which was a weak division, by the way. And Baker Mayfield has rectified his career in Tampa Bay, and they made the playoffs 2 times since Tom Brady has been gone. I think that the edge is to the Eagles because of Eagles have a better defense. They have a better quarterback. They have better receivers. But there's something going on in that locker room that's preventing them from really being a dominant team like they were in the beginning of the year. But who knows, man? The playoffs may change everything. And I think that they're not going to go down by the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who played in a weak division all season. Sosa.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with the Bucks.
The Bucks?
The Bucks.
Okay. Baker Mayfield and those guys.
I'm going with the Bucks too. I've been to Tampa Bay, so
shout out to Jason.
That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the Bucks. Tampa Bay is beautiful, man.
Tampa
Bay is beautiful. Yeah,
I've never been there.
By the water, it's like if you walk on like the dock where the boats is at, you can walk right into the you will walk right into the ocean because it's just like even. You know what I'm saying? It looks
really?
Beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Somewhere to vacation at, huh?
Yeah, I was there when they won that Super Bowl that year. When they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, word.
Tampa Bay.
You went down there specifically for that?
Nah, not for that, but it just so happened that yeah.
Shout out to Jay, man. When I grow up, I want to be like
Jay.
Jay.
He always going somewhere.
Shout out to Tiny on the check-in, man.
Outside.
Shout out to Papa Craze, a.k.a. 60 never look better, my guy.
Happy born day, Tiny.
Happy born day.
Happy birthday.
Word up. Shout out to Jessica Grandy on the check-in. Word up. And Tiny, yes, I did crack the Ciroc today, man. Don't worry. I left the other one, like you said, man, for the show. It ain't gonna go nowhere because it's just me today. Jay is being good. Sosa got a wine.
Yeah.
But don't worry, man. It's in good hands today.
It'll be some left when you get back.
It'll be some left, but the butcher coming, nigga. Word up. So that is the wrap up for the NFL weekend on Wild Card weekend. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to one of our opening topics.
So yeah,
let's go. So
I've been seeing something going on. I'm not really too sure of the details, but
let's go.
There's a young man, Sebastian Telfair.
Telfair, yes.
Telfair.
Yes, indeed.
He's sure telling how he feels. So I caught a little bit of the interview where Mason Cam was interviewing him, and he was popping a little shit, talking about how he better than this one, he better than Skip to my Lou, and he better than that one, and
you know this.
I did see that Skip had some things to say about it, but fill me in. Who is this guy? What is he talking about? And I never really heard of him, so I don't know. I'm not really in the loop like that, but I do know some names.
Let's go.
I never heard his, so he's better than all these people. Like, what's up with this guy, y'all?
Stephon Marbury cousin,
ahead,
right?
Jay.
Yeah, Stephon Marbury cousin. He played in the NBA for 10 years in the NBA.
Nah, Bassy didn't. His career didn't last that long.
He didn't do 10 years. Nah, he said he got a pension.
He probably did about 7 or 8 years. I'll tell you right now. Let me go ahead. Do tell, Jay.
Yeah, he got into a lot of trouble. He was still in the streets, wilding out.
And he got caught with a bunch of guns. Let's tell it, Jay.
Yeah. He explained it though. He said he was moving. Yeah, he said he was moving, and he had everything with him. So he had all the guns with him when he was moving.
So how do you come home from that?
When you got money, you get the lawyers. You get a nice lawyer.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's the American way.
That is true. Money talks. That's right.
Here we go, huh? So and shout out to Jay. I do stand corrected. So yes, Bassey came into the league in 2004. His last year in the NBA was in 2014 for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm pretty sure he didn't play a full season there. So
he said he was getting a pension in the interview, and that was a big thing that he was talking about because all these NBA players, be getting jerked and stuff like that.
Yes,
as far as getting married and the wife divorced them.
Absolutely, because they didn't listen to what they were telling them in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And some of them had to learn the hard.
I gotta watch some of his plays because he was talking about how he better than everybody.
All right, so we're gonna get to that. So this will give you an insight on his career. So basically, he came in the NBA in 2004 with the Portland Trailblazers. played for the Boston Celtics, Minnesota Timberwolves, Los Angeles Clippers, Cleveland Cavaliers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Phoenix Suns, Toronto Raptors, and he came back and played for the Oklahoma City Thunder after he spent 1 year in China playing overseas. Go ahead, Sil.
When you on so many different teams, is that a good thing?
That's not impressive.
It's like you're the pass around.
See, no. All right. So now it's a good and it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing if you're being traded to these teams, because that means that
somebody wants
teams
you,
see a value in you as a player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, most journeymen are guys that are reliable, that teams can count on to come in and produce.
Mm-hmm.
So he was looked at probably in that light at one point in time, but I think a majority of his playing career, it wasn't via trades, it was via him coming back and not walking on, but like earning a spot on some of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Because as Jay said, he does have a pension because he's played in the league for a very long time, but I think that his longest stint was with the team that drafted him in Portland. After that, he was a journeyman, and the rest is history. I think his everything went downhill for him after Phoenix, and that's when he got caught in Brooklyn with a bunch of guns. But to take it back to what you asked about him, is he a great player?
Right. Is he skilled like he said he is?
Okay. He is a skilled basketball player, but a majority of his career, most of his fame came from his high school years.
Mm-hmm.
Him and LeBron James were both famously on the cover of Sports Illustrated when they were both in high school. I still have that magazine. So Sebastian was a very dominant New York City point guard that played for Lincoln High School in Brooklyn. Now, as Skip said, you dominated a bunch of weak teams. Like you basically killed like the bottom feeders of your division, and you made it to the Garden, and you won 3 titles and 3 chances. But Lance Stevenson made it all 4 years and won 4 titles. So that automatically doesn't make you the greatest player out of your high school. You know what I'm saying? That's one.
Mm-hmm.
So and Lance is from Coney Island. You know what I'm saying?
You think he had the right to want to get in there and clarify some things?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I know his name.
Exactly.
I know his name.
There you go.
He been around.
Big Queens. You know what I'm saying?
Big Queens.
We got a caller.
Early.
No Offseason on Bars and Hoops Radio. Who's this?
This is 3D, man.
3D, what's happening, champ? I hope you on your way in, baby. What's going on?
I'm en route, man, but I couldn't miss this topic, so I had to call in.
I know. I said, you couldn't miss this topic.
Yeah, I gotta push back on. I just heard what you said a little bit. I get what Skip's point was about. He's saying that Sebastian, the era that he played in wasn't as tough, so he dominated different people. I kind of disagree with that because
why can't you attest to that? You played in our era.
Nah, I didn't play in Bassie's era.
No, I'm talking about you played in our era in comparison to Bassie's era.
Oh, yes. I understand. No, I agree somewhat, but he can't just say that Bassie's claim to fame is because he dominated a bunch of mediocre specials, because that's not, you know what I mean? That was the case in a little bit, but Bassie also took his show on the road. Like, he dominated nationally ranked players as well. So it wasn't like he was just here in New York City killing. He to win everywhere, to all the major annual events, ABCD camp. Like, he was around the country doing his 1-2. So we can't just say that, because you have players who could dominate New York, but they're not, a top 10 player in the country. Bassie was a top 10 player in the country. So we have to respect him in that manner, that he was being probably the best guard, if the best guard in that McDonald's All-American class.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So we have to tip our cap to him for that. The only problem I had with his response and how he feel he's the best and he's tooting his own horn is that you seem a little bit disrespectful to the guys that paved the way and came before you. You get what I'm saying? So my thing is, if everybody's supposed to feel like they're the best and talk their shit, but once your career is over and you can look back on it, the best thing to do is kind of salute the guys before you and then say, but anybody after me can't fuck with me.
Right.
Because he inspired the kids that came after him, and they all look up to him. So in that fashion, he has a point. It's like I've never heard Stephon Marbury say, I'm better than Kenny Anderson and Pearl Washington. In his heart, he probably think he is, but he's not going to disrespect them because they was his inspiration.
Mark Jackson clarified that, though. I think he clarified that when he came on with Rafa. You know.
Yeah. Mark kind of put it in kind of the same light that I'm putting it in, but I'm just kind of pushing back on the people saying that he bugging by talking like that. No, he has a right to feel slighted when his name is not mentioned because he is one of the best players to ever come out of New York. The kid went drafted lottery out of high school as a 6-foot guard. That will never happen again.
Yeah. I ain't look at it like that.
So, yeah. So we got to look at it like that. Like, that doesn't happen. 6-foot guards don't get drafted out of college, let alone fucking high school.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's not going to happen again. So we have to kind of, give him his respect with that. But that's where, he got a little bit beside himself when saying, oh, you better than Mark Jackson, you better than Rod Strickland, you better than this one. Steph was scared of you. Like, all that was a little overboard.
So, let me ask you, what you think about his NBA career, though? What you think about it?
Mediocre special.
I think that his NBA, I salute anybody that's able to last 10 years in the NBA. But he's not, and I think that's why his name does get lost in the mix of talking about great guards, because I think that the controversy that he had while he was in the league outweighed his production in the league. So people know more about the trouble you got in than what you actually did on the court. Because you never had no sustained success at the NBA level. At least Skip can say Skip started for 7 straight years. Starting with Miami, and then going over to Houston. He was an NBA starter for 7 straight seasons, averaging double figures.
And he led the Orlando Magic to the finals. He led the Magic to the finals, and due to politics, they sat him and played Jameer Nelson. Don't forget that.
That was Orlando?
No,
that was Houston.
Yeah, that was Orlando.
He was definitely a starter on a Orlando team. So we got to sue him for that. But, I mean, I had this argument today, not argument, but debate today. Is like Skip had a better NBA career.
Hands down.
That's just a fact. All right, I'm 2 minutes away. I'll be there in a sec.
All right, cool.
All right.
Shout out to 3D, man. So we got 3D's
not
perspective.
Gonna miss that. That.
We wasn't gonna miss that perspective on that, but to put things in perspective, because again, Sebastian's high school career, phenomenal.
Definitely
phenomenal. Like I said earlier, him and LeBron James were 2 high schoolers on the cover of Sports Illustrated, just like Felipe Lopez. But LeBron was on the cover by himself as well, at a young age too. Now, you can't take away that from him, but everything after that, like him saying that he bust Mark Jackson's ass, and, Stephon Marbury was scared of him and all that. Like, you wanted to be like Steph, you know what I mean? You probably wasn't the best player in your household at one point in time because his brother is Jamel Thompson. And I want to get Jamel Thomas up here. Well, not up here because I don't think he's in the country.
To me, Steph had a better career than
of course, like Rafa said, Steph has Hall of Fame numbers. He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Steph's gonna go to the Hall of Fame.
He's averaging at one point in time before he declined and went to die after his father died. Because this is the thing that people fail to realize about Stephon Marbury. He was a New York kid that grew up a Knicks fan. His dream came true once he became a Knicks. He wanted to do his best to help the Knicks win. People crucified Isaiah Thomas because they mortgaged the future of the Knicks to get Stephon Marbury, where they took on Penny Hardaway's bad contract at the time, which was like, that's when they started giving them big max deals. Back then, they took on Penny's contract. He was an injured player, and they took on Stephon's big contract, which at the time was like $89 million. Crippled their books. They couldn't really put a real team around them. They tried to add pieces like Tim Thomas, Quentin Richardson, and stuff like that. They had Jamal Crawford. Him and Crawford shared the backcourt at one point in time. Isaiah coached the team. No, it was Larry Brown that was coaching the team at first, but ultimately Larry Brown was trying to sabotage Marbury because he didn't like Marbury.
Yeah.
And he also wanted Isaiah Thomas's job at the time. So the Knicks organization turned on Stephon Marbury. His father died in the stands at the game while he was playing. Yeah, watching him play, he had a cardiac arrest.
Oh my God!
I heard them saying like they didn't tell him what happened, right?
Yeah,
Something
they didn't
like
tell
that.
him.
But I didn't know he was at the game.
His father was at the game. They watched every game at the Garden. His mother, his father, his brothers, sisters, they all was there rooting him on because this was his childhood dream to play for the Knicks. So once he found out he lost his dad, and then the way the organization turned on him, it would make anybody snap. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's the same person can lose their marbles and have a moment when you realize, yo, this is a team that I grew up rooting for. I love. This is a city that I love. I came from here. I did a lot of work in this city. I put the city on the map for New York City point guards, and then to turn around and have them basically shit on me like I'm the worst thing that ever happened because the Knicks organization couldn't build a good product with me here was messed up. And he's never been the same after that. They traded him to, remember, D'Antoni sat him in favor of Chris Duhon said that Chris Duhon is the better option for the team to win. There's no way in the world Chris Duhon is not, he doesn't have Hall of Fame numbers. He doesn't have, I don't even think his career
he
numbers.
Football, right? That's the one.
Nah, Chris Duhon doesn't play football. He played
Chris
for
Duhon.
Duke. He was a Duke player, but he was nowhere near Stephon Marbury. They shot him because of politics, and they just wanted to get rid of him. And he was a casualty because he spoke up in a case that was filed against Isaiah Thomas, a sexual harassment case by an employee at the Garden. Anuka Brown Saunders had filed a harassment case against Isaiah Thomas, and Stephon Marbury was subpoenaed to court to speak on what he knew. And after that, everything went downhill. The organization turned their back on him. His parents, his father died. And then he just went into a thing where he was online on YouTube, eating Vaseline and talking crazy. He went to Boston. He never could get back on track. Doc Rivers tried everything to get him back on track. It just never worked. And then he ultimately ended up leaving New York. And another thing that people don't realize and recognize or even bring up about Stephon Marbury was that he was innovative in creating his own sneaker that was affordable for inner city youth.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that.
Was a big thing.
I remember that.
That made
I
a lot of
remember
these,
what the sneaker looked like. Yep.
I had about 3 pairs of them just off the strength. It was $15, and I used to try to style them and make them look good. I ain't going for. I wore Marbury.
Yeah, they was. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when they came out.
Now you're going against the sneaker giants. You're going against the Nikes. You're going against the Adidas. You telling them, I'm getting my sneakers made in the same spots that these people are making them, but they selling their sneakers for $150. I'm selling mine for $15. That's ultimately what kind of changed the game for him and made people turn against him and for what he stood for. And then he ended up basically going to China, resurrecting his basketball career, resurrecting his life. He won about 2 or 3 titles in China. He had a statue built on his behalf, and he said that he'll never come back to the United States.
So it is good when they go overseas. It is good for them.
Depends.
It could still be good for them.
Of course. Of course. Like if you go to certain countries, remember the US dollar and compared to the euro, yen, and all
the top
that,
dollar.
You getting money. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the astronomical NBA contracts, but you can still have a great living playing overseas. You making 6 figures. You making what CEOs of companies make playing basketball overseas. So you can make a great living playing basketball overseas. It's not the end all be all.
I used to think that when they say, the players now overseas, that meant like, well, there's nothing else popping, so let me go overseas and try to see what I could do. That's the vibe I thought That's
what people in our neighborhoods
perceive it to be like. Yeah,
the NBA is the end all be all. You have people that have made a wonderful living in basketball and lived a great basketball life playing in places like Germany. You know what I'm saying? Playing in Europe, like just all over the world. And you get to see the world.
Because AI didn't, he went over seas, right? Allen
Iverson, I don't think he ever attempted to go to like China or anything. Guys like J.R. Smith, after Stephon Marbury made it cool, J.R. Smith went to China, he dominated. What's the guy? Jimmer Fredette. You guys remember Jimmer Fredette? He went to China, dominated. He actually had a showdown with Marbury in China, and that was a big thing. back there. Kenya Martin went to China. You know, guys like Dwight Howard now recently went to Taiwan. So it's still basketball at the end of the day. If you love the sport, you're gonna make the best of it. Look at J. Cole. You know, he went to Africa and played in the African League, and you know he didn't have to do that, but he just followed his passion. So it's life after the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's only a certain amount of slots for people in the NBA. You know what I mean? And you have to be an extremely talented guy.
I'm sure.
To make it to the
checks
NBA.
be real.
Yes. You know what I mean? But you know, like we said, man, shout out to anybody of Bassey stature. Like you said, the most 6-foot guards don't make it to the NBA, and that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So salute to him. He made it to that level, but I think just to bring it all back home, that he was out of pocket. Mark Jackson was diplomatic when he talked about it, but he did say, like, yo, come on, man, what are we doing?
Yeah, watch him now.
Like at the end of the day, man, I was playing against a 16-year-old kid. I was a veteran already, starting point guard New York Knicks. I can abuse anybody on the streets. But he said this was a 16-year-old kid. What are we really talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? And Skip wasn't so diplomatic, but Skip was just basically spitting facts. Like, bro, you're not better than the people before you. You're not better than Rod Strickland. You're not better than Mark Jackson. You're not better than me. You're not even better than Jamal Tinsley, who was quiet. You ain't hear Jamal Tinsley say nothing. And Tinsley, and shout out to Jamal Tinsley. Quick story about Tinsley. We got 3 minutes left in a second. Quick story about Tinsley. He kind of lost his career in the NBA on his last go-round because he didn't want to take showers with other guys in the locker room.
Oh, wow.
Word. Fun fact.
You better not ever go to jail.
Shout out to Mel the Abuser. And I've personally witnessed and watched him destroy Stephon Marbury at the Rucker one summer when we went up there when he was playing for the Terror Squad against Stephon Marbury. So, you know what I mean? Sebastian, he had a great, his high school career is unmatched. As far as everything after that, he got to pump his brakes a little bit, like Skip said, man. Like, you got guys that have been in the league just as long as you had better NBA careers than you. You weren't better than them when you were a young kid. Yes, you probably were on the court with them at a young age, but you weren't really competing with those guys. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool for the moment he went viral. Like Cam said, you're going to have a Cat Williams moment right now and make the best of it. So he went viral. Everybody's talking about him. And
I
that
see
was
it.
that.
Caught my attention.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as Cam, let's talk a little bit about Cam. Cam was nice. He was nice in basketball. Him and Mace.
Cameron Giles.
Yeah, Cameron Giles. They both played for Manhattan Center with a guy by the name of Richie Parker who ended up catching a case. That's why Cam said in the song, I almost caught a case with Rich Parker as a sexual assault case against a teenager at the time. Yeah, they basically trying to say that they raped the girl or whatever the case may be. And Cam almost got jammed up in that. Richie Parker did get caught up in that. It hurt him nationally as far as going to like a big college to play basketball. So he had to settle. He stayed in the city, and he ended up going to LIU. He played alongside Charles Jones and Mike Campbell, and they had a nice little crew that made a run to the NCAA tournament. And out of Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? But that's a fun fact. But yeah, that interview took me down memory lane and made me think about a lot of guys who don't really get their flowers, like the Sham Guards, Kareem Reeds, like, you know, even Felipe Lopez to a degree, even though he was older than everybody. And, you know, he came here to this country from Dominican Republic and he dominated high school basketball. But the one thing I give Skip credit for is that he always brings it home, and he shouted out QP. You know what I mean? Because Quincy was a problem. You know what I mean?
Yes, I remember Quincy.
QP was a problem.
My uncle used to play, and
Chant?
No, my Uncle Rick. Y'all don't know
okay.
my Uncle Rick. That's the one in Dix Hills with the kids that play now. And Quincy became like his like little protege kind of, and you know, he used to always school him and stuff like that, and Quincy used to go to some of his games, and he used to put him on to a lot of things too. I remember when Quincy was doing his thing. I remember.
Yes, man.
Shout out to QP.
Yeah, shout out to QP and shout out to Skip, man. He said they took Cam and Mace to school with him, Stymie, QP, and a couple other guys went and took them guys to school, man. So shout out to Skip for bigging up Queens, man. That interview. Shout out to Cam for even
his show's
fire,
his
show's
man.
Fire, man. I can't front.
I got a crush on that girl, Stat, whatever her name is. Yeah, I got
Shoot your shot, Jay.
Yeah,
we got about 12 seconds left on the clock before we go to your
Holla
Knicks.
at me, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up in my inbox, you know what I'm saying?
Don't have Cam and Mason come and shoot shots at us now.
Up, man. So on that note,
I'm
man,
gonna have to get her.
We're gonna have to take it to a DJ JOJ spin cycle mix, man. Don't forget the number to call in is 516-206-0711. No off season on Bars and Hoops Radio.
3D,
Check
where
in
the
with
hell
us.
your ass at?
The mask go through a gang sign. If we ain't the mob, you tripping, I pay.
Again, head over to www.barsandhoops.com to hear the DJ JOJ mini mix or www.barsandhoopsradio.com to hear the DJ JOJ mini mix live or download the Bars and Hoops Radio app. Peace.
Try to extort me with
Again, to hear the DJ JOJ mini mix, head on over to barsandhoopsradio.com or download the Bars and Hoops Radio app. Let's go. Shout out to DJ JOJ for that mini mix. You know what I'm saying? Try a little something different, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, due to regulations on Facebook and YouTube and all these streaming platforms, they definitely would block you if you play music during a live broadcast. So we try something different today, man. So, of course, we're licensed to play music on our station, which is at www.barsandhoopsradio.com, barsandhoops.com. And if you want to listen to the DJ JOJ spin cycle or any music during the shows, you can always download the app or go straight to the website to hear the music. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we was on mute for a little bit. Hopefully everybody understood. We didn't lose too many people, which is a good thing. So I'm glad that y'all stayed tuned in. So we reached the part of our show now where, we talk a little bit about that game. You know what I'm saying? It's our peep game segment, man, headed by yours truly and Tiff Sosa. Shout out to 3D in the building. You know what I'm saying? So
made it
Sosa,
safe
what
and
we
sound.
got? What we got going on today?
So, I saw a video. Of course, you know me. I'll be seeing videos.
Let's
right?
get.
And it was a guy. He was out with his wife or his girl, whatever. I guess it was her birthday, and he decided to take her out to eat. So apparently, some of her girlfriends pulled up or whatever, and they enjoyed themselves. And then the bill came. So the bill came. It was like $700, something like that. So he was like, I got the birthday girl, and I think he pointed out maybe a relative. I don't know. So the friends were like, what do you mean you just have them and not us? You're the only man at the table.
What?
And we're females, and how could you not pay the bill? So he was like, what do you mean? Like, that was not the plan, whatever. So guys, I'm asking, do you think he should have paid the bill? I'm going to start with you still.
Absolutely not. And how dare them assume that he's supposed to pay the bill? How you know that man's financial situation first and foremost? That's one thing. And that doesn't matter. He clearly distinguished who he's going to pay for, his wife and her relatives. Me coming out with y'all don't mean just because I'm the only man, I got to pay for the bill. Like, how can you insinuate that? For a person to insinuate that and just assume that I'm doing that, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't feel that he was wrong for not paying the bill, because any man would look at that and be like, man, I'm not my date.
I feel like it depends on how it was presented to them. When it came to the event, I'm not sure how they were invited, but it depends on how it was said. Maybe, I'm gonna always be prepared and make sure I can cover myself. But I also don't feel like anybody's necessarily responsible to do anything, right? But at the same time, if you invited me on I'm having something for homegirl, whatever, I want y'all to pull up. It's gonna be with a little dinner, whatever. We're gonna go out, we're gonna celebrate, we're gonna eat, pull up, come. If it was like that, then it's like, okay, y'all must got this covered. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't stated. If that was the case,
that's the part
different.
I don't know. And if
that's
it was
different.
more like, listen, I'm gonna do a little something, if y'all want to come, it's up to y'all. We'll be at this restaurant. Then it's like, come at your own.
There you go.
So for me, that's my opinion. It depends.
So it all depends on how it was presented, but it wasn't presented that way.
As far as the way he was at the table, like, nah, what? Like, he thought they were crazy.
Yeah, because if I invite people, it's gonna be a set menu. This is what y'all got to choose from.
What you think about 3?
Word up.
What you think about 3?
This is what y'all got to choose from.
You on your prefix menu shit.
Yeah, it's prefix menu. If I'm paying for it, it's gonna have chicken, beef, or seafood. So it's gonna have options.
But people usually do that. So if people, like especially if you're having a birthday gathering, most people get a prefix menu because it's the same price for everybody. And sometimes when people do that, everybody has to pay for their plate. But as far as the topic at hand, it all really depends. Did these people just show up on their own? Were they invited by the man, or were they invited by the girlfriend?
There we go.
This is what I'm saying.
Because if they weren't invited by the man and they just popped up, and the girlfriend just said come through, then he's not obligated to cover whoever else shows up.
Absolutely not.
You know, because he probably went out with a party of 3 and it turned to a party of 6.
That's the way it seemed.
So it's like, I mean, I don't think he's responsible. And if they think he is, I mean, that's entitlement. Like
they
a
was
motherfucker.
drinking.
They was
Yeah.
drinking.
You know what I'm
Under
saying?
that assumption.
And that's another thing I hate. When it's a large party or a party at all, take heed. Take this. I'm gonna take this.
Let's go.
Get the drinks on a separate bill.
Yeah.
Do not put the drinks with the same bill as the food, because the drinks can get costly after 2 or 3 around the table and you looking at an inflated fucking bill. When it's better if you just have the separate drink bill and everybody know how many drinks they had, and we're gonna bust this shit down.
That's what it seems like. 3. That's what it seems like.
A couple of years ago during COVID, unfortunately, I had a gathering or whatever, just close friends and family or whatever. It wasn't too pricey. I probably paid about $3,000. A little bit $3,000. Nice ballroom, DJ.
Prefix menu.
No, we had like a different selections of yes.
Couple of
but it was like it was an open bar, top shelf open bar. But what I didn't like is some of the people weren't tipping.
That's so tacky.
So my thing is,
at least if it's
my thing
free.
is everything was like, covered. So
at least you could do it.
Because at the end of the night, I had to go in my pocket and hit off the the servers. I didn't have to.
Right, but it was only right.
That's the way you conduct yourself if you want to use that establishment again, and they might want to give you a little discount the next time around or whatever. But I'm of the thing. If I invite you to something I'm having for my birthday, I'm not asking you for any bread. You get what I'm saying? It's my party. I'm gonna cover the party. Now, if your people want to take you out, then that works as well. You get what I'm saying? So I've had that happen. But it's some people are under the pressure that all these people could come. It's your birthday, and the people could just order what the fuck they want, and we're gonna split the bill up equally. But you have fucking steak and lobster, and all I had was a fucking chicken palm. Like, it don't make sense.
Yeah, make that shit make sense.
JOJ, what do you say?
Peace, Almighty.
Oh man, I would have looked at that bill 700. Like it would have been a riot up in there. Like, some of y'all better get on that table and twerk something up, get some tips or something, because it's going down.
Yeah, they were saying he was lame and everything for that, for like not paying the bill.
But see, they lame for coming. That's their homegirl. They lame for coming there.
See, and I would have checked them, like, depending on how it was presented. Again, I might have had to check them, like, come on, yeah, bitches.
Because that seemed like it was a surprise on him, because he wasn't. Like, if he didn't pay for that, because me, I would have paid for it. You know what I'm saying? What? But if I'm but I gotta be ready for that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have 3 people, I'm gonna pay for my 3. But then if it turned to 7 or 8, it's like, come on, you gotta come off with something.
So if the young lady was like, oh, you taking me here? Oh, I'm gonna bring such and such and such and such. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. They could come.
Then pay for it.
All right, so we got a call on the Peep Game
Sorry
segment.
about that.
Bars and Hoops Radio. No off season. Who's this?
Yo, what's good, bro? It's Remy.
Jay Remy, what's going on, brother? What's happening?
You gotta turn your background down.
And turn your background down too, bro. We hear the feedback.
Or mute it.
Or mute it.
You got me now?
I hear you now. What's up, Jay?
All right, cool. Peace, Jay.
Peace.
So I think your name was, and my bad, my other brother, I didn't catch your name. Peace,
that's 3D. 3D.
3D. All right, man. Peace, King. Wow, what a topic, right? I agree with Jay. If I agree with Jay, like, yo, if I'm taking my shorty out and I say to homegirls, like, yo, I'm taking, shorty out and y'all are welcome to come. If anything, I would think that her homegirls is gonna be the one that's gonna be like, nah, this is my homegirl. It's her birthday. We're gonna collectively hold it down. And they turn around and point the finger at the one man.
Talk about it.
Because he's the man.
Point the man at the one male at the table, and decide that like it's his responsibility. Like
all this equal opportunity out there. They looking at the one man. Go ahead, Jay. Carry on.
Man, listen, I would have been telling all them girls, y'all better call y'all man for his cash app. They take Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay, all that. But real quick, I wasn't situated for the wild card picks, and me and my son had wanted to throw our wild card weekend picks in there.
Let's go, baby. I know you're a sports guy. Let's go.
You already know. You know I do my homework. So the first one was Houston and Cleveland.
Yeah.
And for moral reasons, I'm rooting for Houston. CJ Stroud is a rookie. His father's been incarcerated since he was 15. And hasn't seen him play a football game. And
shout out to
the NFL correlated with the prison to allow his father to watch him play.
Nice.
The playoff game.
That's big.
What you mean they correlate, let him play? They gonna let him out for a day?
They ain't not. Nah, they ain't gonna let him out for a day, but they gonna make sure that
watch it,
it's
maybe
televised.
Yeah, he can
in the
see
prison.
Wow.
Where he gets to watch his son play that game.
That's nice.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Shout out to Jay-Z. Yeah, that's Hov. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, that's Hov.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely Hov.
That's Hov.
And then you got the Dolphins
I didn't
Chiefs,
even know that.
right? And you got to take into account weather. It's gonna be 0 degrees with a wind chill of 20.
Mm-hmm.
So
same thing
you said. You know what I'm saying? You got the Dolphins used to throwing the ball all over the field,
and Miami.
And it's like, with that kind of weather, I feel like that the edge goes to the Chiefs because that's the kind of weather they used to playing in.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And a coach like Andy Reid that coached in Philly for 16 years and coached it at the Chiefs for the last 11 years. He's played in every kind of climate.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the edge is gonna go to the Chiefs.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Remy. Word.
Same thing with the Steelers and the Bills. Same thing. Weather. It's gonna be 10 degrees with a heavy wind chill. Defense, and run the ball. Who does it better than Mike Tomlin?
The black man is God. That's what I've been saying. Go ahead, Remy.
The black man is God. Then you got the Packers and the Cowboys. Cowboys is at home. They average 38 points a game at home. I don't think that Jordan Love got the tools to even come close to matching that. As much as I hate to say it, being a diehard Giant fan.
Not yet. He ain't there yet.
He ain't there yet. Rams and Lions. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think because of the shootout, I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the experience.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna talk. I think we talk about like a 38, 33 kind of game. We talking about a shootout.
Shout out to Remy. Yes, sir.
And then you got the Eagles and the Bucks.
Monday night.
And I'm gonna play nice, but the number one quarterback that throws interceptions on the blitz is Jalen Hurts.
Ooh.
And the Bucks have the number one blitzing defense. So you got a quarterback that throws the most interceptions against the blitz, and you got a defense that blitzes more than any team in the NFL.
Yes, indeed.
I'm taking the Bucks.
I said the Bucks.
And Tiffany Sosa said the Bucks too. Shout out to Remy, man.
So far, everything I think every team I've said so far except Houston. I didn't say Houston though.
Oh, you didn't say Houston? Tiff about to get some betting advice.
Get my app ready.
We got that bet coming up too in the first game.
Yeah, word up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Remy, man. Shout out to you, man. Salute to you for calling in, man.
Remy, man.
Yeah, that was a breath of fresh air, man. We missed that type of insight here on Bars and Hoops Radio, bro. You know, we got to talk off camera, man, and get things back in order, man. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, bro, for real. Thank you for the check-in.
I appreciate that, man. Yo, peace and love. Y'all have a good show.
All right, bro.
man. Stay up.
Yep.
All right.
Word. Now back to the men, man. We not cheapskates because we ain't willing to break the bank to pay for your broke ass going to come out and have a good time on my dime. Not at all. We not doing that. Go ahead, so I'm sorry.
No, I was saying they don't have to be broke. Nah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, it depends on how it was presented to them. But my man is not obligated to pay for y'all bitches.
You heard?
But
Facts.
you said they was calling him a lame. So what type of
what type of
respect
shit is
do they
that?
even
Yo,
have
that's
for
the part
Shorty?
that's
like
what
that.
stood out for me. That's what stood out for me. So I'm like, is he an asshole all the time or something? Or because if not, then she should have been like, listen, y'all.
Either that or I thought he was
down.
a simp.
Yeah, one or the other. But he wasn't, I guess, if he wasn't paying for it. So I guess he was like,
but
he was standing on business.
He was. And what makes you come outside to go out to eat, have drinks without money to at least cover yourself? Fuck him being a lady.
Not even that.
They probably had the money to cover
Yeah.
themselves, but they just felt he should have, as a man, being the only man at the table,
that.
that he should have covered the bill. And they made it a point to say, you are the only man at the table.
What the
and I mean,
y'all fought for equal rights out this motherfucker. It's equal opportunity for everybody to pay. Go ahead,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know what his occupation is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what, I feel like it depends on what kind of man he is.
I mean,
and that's not to take anything away from, he could be a man that works a 9 to 5.
He a coke boy.
If he's a coke boy, that's different. Nigga, pay for it.
What?
Nah,
He would have
not-
spent
it's
that
not-
already.
It's not different because that's the problem. The problem is
that's what you say all the day. I do this, I do this.
the friends would be like, that nigga got it, so we should be all right.
Nah, they shouldn't feel
But
like
at
that.
the end of the day, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
How dare you be entitled to what I have, though?
They shouldn't feel like that. They shouldn't.
But I'm just saying that's probably how they feel, and I know women. That's how women move.
Yeah, it's true.
If they like, yo, son got it, she bringing out like she got YSL bags, she got Gucci bags. Her man got it. He, take care of her. So a little meal and some drinks ain't gonna hurt him.
Right, and they'll make it look like, oh, he ain't that nigga. He ain't that nigga like that if he couldn't do that. That's how they'll try to flip it to make it look like, oh, he's a lame. He don't really got it.
I mean,
like
my takeaway.
That's the
from
world
this,
we in today. I'm just saying.
My takeaway from this. If you a female and you have friends that move on this type of time,
get some new friends.
Those ain't your friends. Because if they want to come and they feel like, and the way she laid it out, she said that was his woman that he was taking out for her birthday, not that was somebody that she cool with and they hang out and get him. But you saying that's your man. Nah.
Right.
The phone lines is open.
I agree with that one.
No off season on Barzoo's Radio. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, man? This is Tiny, man. You know what it is.
Union Square.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
thank
Jim. What's
thank
happening?
you for the birthday shout out. Yo, number one, they all washing dishes. Get to go in the back, start washing dishes.
Tiny said, hell to the no.
Nah. See, the whole thing is, if we don't have anything established before we sit down and eat, do not assume that I'm going to pay for your meal. It doesn't work for that, especially your friend's meal. Get ready to be embarrassed because see, what they doing is taking advantage of having a free meal that they can't pay for themselves. And I bet you they ordered the most expensive thing on their menu, not caring. No, go out there and you washing dishes. Ain't nothing lame about me. It's lame that you came out with no money. Broke ass bitches.
Oh, Lord, Tiny.
I'm sorry. I just had to say
Tiny
that.
hit a nerve. This shit happened to Tiny before, man. Tiny, let us know, man. What happened, Tiny? This shit happened to Tiny before.
Call her out.
What year was it, Tiny?
What?
What year was it, bro?
Listen.
Air her ass out, Tiny.
That ain't never happened to me because I was always up front. And let me say this, because Tips made he made a interesting point. If you got people that drink, they should buy separate
Oh no, that
you know,
was
like
you that said
separate
that.
drinks outside the bill. But
That was 3.
Yeah, that was 3.
If
That was 3.
if everybody's sitting down, and we celebrating somebody's birthday, and we all saying we going in together with the birthday, yo, order whatever the hell you want to. Just know that everybody's going to, the bill is going to be split right down evenly with everybody that's sitting at the table. If you can't afford it, yo, make sure you say, give me a separate bill because I'm going to get something that's not going to be with that.
A lot of restaurants now won't separate bills.
What?
And did you see the one that added healthcare to the tab?
What?
The restaurant in Atlanta?
Yeah, I saw that. What a lot of establishments are also doing, if you have a large party, you have a large party, they do cash only.
Cash only?
Yeah. If you have a large party, like you say you got a reservation for a large party, prefix menu or whatever, they'll do cash only because now that's easier way everybody can pay their portion of the bill rather
like back in the days.
Rather than them busting down different people's debit or credit cards.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that does make
cash only.
way more sense because like that's how it was back in the days, you know, before all of the, you know, technology.
My thing is, man, know the people that you
going with,
that you sit down and eat with, man. Because at the end of the day, I look at it like I don't like being in those type of situations. That's why anytime I go out, whether it's me and my fellas or it's a family function, we already know the drill.
Yep.
If you gonna come here and say no, all I had was this, we not doing that. You know what I mean? We go, depending on the establishment that we go to, we understand that whatever this bill come back as, we gonna bust this shit down equally, depending on how many people you with and we with. So if it's different families, you and your party of 2, me and my party of 3, you and your, you know what I mean? So we just gonna bust it down equally, whatever the bill come out to be, and we're gonna have a separate bill just for drinks and the people who drink, because everybody don't drink. So everybody shouldn't, have to put in for that alcohol because they didn't have a drink. So why should they have to contribute to that?
Right.
That's a fact. That is, you're right.
I agree.
You're right, because the drinks is the most expensive thing on the menu.
No, it makes your bill go up at least 50%.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Word, man. Shout out to Tiny,
but
man.
Great,
Word, man.
Yo, great show, man. I'll speak to y'all later.
All right, Tiny.
All right.
Peace,
bye,
man.
Tiny.
Yep. Shout out to Tiny, man. He said they would have been embarrassed.
He said, get ready to be embarrassed.
Embarrassed, huh?
They would have been busting tables.
Busting tables, wiping them down, busting dishes down. They'd have been doing everything. Yeah, but that's, you know, for them to come out and assume because I'm the only man that I'm supposed to pay that. Like, would you put your man in that predicament?
Yeah, and I'm like, that couldn't have been my husband. Y'all talking about he lame. Like, what?
Yeah. Fuck out of here.
I'm saying, what type of respect do they have for homegirl if they, for one, came out and thought that he was supposed to cover their portion of whatever they ordered? We don't know what the fuck they ordered. They could have ordered the most expensive shit on the middle menu and had several drinks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Cosmos.
Yeah. So I mean, and then feel like you just gonna get up and walk out. Like,
but hold on,
and he's supposed to cover that. Like, come on, man.
But Sosa said something that was interesting. She said, that nigga's a dope boy. Coke boy,
no, because
got whatever you need, boy.
No, I'm saying
that bill got to be covered.
Most of them, I'm not, and even them. I said that as a joke. He's still not obligated either. But most of them talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, talk that shit. But
that's an unwritten rule or law that women have in their mind in our community. They think that if a nigga's out here trapping, that his money ain't the same as a nigga who working hard for his money. They think that money, nigga, you ain't doing nothing but pumping. So,
well, I mean, I know it comes. That's a job in itself as well.
A whole job.
But
yeah, but they don't like that money. They'll run through that money more than the money that you bust your ass to make every day.
Faster.
You get what I'm saying? So it's fast money. So they feel like, give me that money because you not working for it. Like, you got it, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you more than likely talk big shit.
Exactly. It's almost like with the scammer shit. It's like, oh, you a scammer? Like
swipe that money.
Let's go.
Swiping.
Well, valuable lesson learned today, man.
Lesson learned, man.
Lesson learned today.
Always have your money. Don't expect nothing, and you will be fine. Okay.
Watch who you sit down and eat with, man.
That's a fact, man.
And
Word
have
up.
dinner with everybody.
Stop assuming shit.
Facts. Word up, man. So on that note, man, we're going to take it to another DJ JOJ spin cycle. And when we come back, we're going to talk some NBA, man. Don't forget the number to call in is 516-206-0711. No off season on Bars and Hoops Radio. Check in with us.
And him and Paul George are both. They can both opt out. They could have opted out and became free agents this summer.
Yes,
I felt like they were not gonna re-sign both to that type of money because they've both been often injured. They haven't played a lot of games together. The experiment with both of them in LA hasn't, resulted in a conference finals. Nothing. They just haven't been the perfect pairing. I think the reason why Kawhi signed this extension, I got to tip my hat to James Harden. I think James Harden has been a welcome addition. He went over there, whatever Ty Lue did, he worked some magic because Harden is balling.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So, and I think that Harden is a better pairing with Kawhi than Paul George was. Now we have to see if the other shoe falls and they re-sign Paul George or let him walk.
They was talking about getting rid of PG.
Exactly, because I don't think that they're going to pay both of them that type of money because Harden is still up for some bread too. Like he's going to be a free agent as well. And I think they like the James and I think they like the James Harden and Kawhi Leonard pairing. So I think unless Paul George is going to take a pay cut, I don't think he's going to be a Clipper.
Well, they were talking about and they were flirting with the idea of bringing PG to New York. You know what I'm saying?
I think he goes back to Indiana.
Think he go back to Indiana?
I think he goes back to Indiana on a sign and trade.
That'd be a good fit. Definitely a good fit, man. Word up, man.
With some young guys on small contracts going back over to LA, it'll be a sign and trade. Paul George will get his money. They can pair him with Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner, and they can make some noise in the Eastern Conference. But I don't think that the Clippers pay James, Kawhi, and Paul George because after that, you're strapped. You really can't pay nobody else.
Facts. And shout out to Russell Westbrook being a good soldier on the bench. You know what I'm saying? But again, just to recap, man, Kawhi Leonard did sign for 3 years at $153 million. An extension.
Damn.
That's crazy. And you do the math. It's a 50 a clip. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but if you go do the numbers, it's he's in that ballpark with guys that are getting that type of money. Bradley Bill's getting that type of money.
Facts.
Kevin Durant's getting that type of money.
Facts.
Devin Booker's getting that type of money.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Steph Curry's getting that type of money. So the main guys are getting 45 plus mil per.
Whole fact.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what an agent negotiates. So I mean, and I think it was a good move because I don't think that Kawhi and his camp, you can't turn that down. 3 years, 154, you can't turn that down at this point in his career.
What?
You know what I mean? So this is probably his last, you know what I mean, crack at lucrative one. Like he might have another contract lifespan in him. I'm not sure. I don't think Kawhi is a guy that's gonna play for a long time.
Nah.
I think that, at some point, I think he's gonna retire way earlier than Braun, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to play 19, 20 seasons. I just don't see that.
He getting $51 million a year, kid.
That's
the point guards and the guards we was talking about earlier. They contract lifetime in the NBA ain't even really match up to the numbers that they got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This last contract alone, 3 years, 153, eclipsed what Sebastian probably made.
Yeah. So in the first hour, y'all talked about the pension.
Let's go.
That doesn't kick in until you're 55, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was 65. They moved it down. You can either wait it out, or if you take it early, they take a little bit away. Like they take some of it. Like if you want a lump sum, they take some of it away. So, you can't turn your nose up at that. Like that's a great feat to be able to be pension eligible and get that money coming to you for the rest of your life.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know what I'm saying? And it's close to like, depending on how long you play and what it's close to like,
work
you
you
know
put
what I mean?
in,
Like
right?
you might be clearing like 100 to 200,000 a year.
So three. That's the same thing that's going on with Iverson, because they were saying he gotta wait like a
Iverson's situation is a bit different because we're not talking about his pension. We're talking about what was put in his Reebok contract. What was put in his Reebok contract is that he has I believe it's $60 million trust that he will get when he's 55, I believe. So that's money that they could have gave it to him now, but his advisor told him that, listen, I want to put something in his contract that this goes into a trust and he can't get it until he's 55 years old.
Very
smart. So damn, I know this guy's name, but I can't remember his name right now.
Tell him.
No. He was out. He's the one that really saved Iverson because he moved in with him in Hampton and sent him to a better school. But long story short, he put that in the contract, and I think he saved Allen from himself. Meaning because Allen ran through that NBA bread. That NBA bread was gone. You get what I'm saying? But that lifetime deal with Reebok and that money that he's gonna get when he hits 55 years old, he's gonna get that plus his NBA pension. So he's gonna be well filthy. You know what I mean? He's gonna be filthy again because now you saying that when I turn 55, you giving me 60, you giving me 60 million.
Yeah,
I'm 55. You giving me 60 million.
Boy.
You get what I'm saying? So that's generational wealth that he can leave for his daughters, his grandkids, and all that type of thing. But that was great that he put that was put in his deal, and I'm surprised that a lot of people didn't follow that. I think the only other person that has something close or similar is Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose had a great Adidas deal where they paid him a lot of money up front. He was getting a lot of millions per year. His two brothers were also on salary where they were getting like $60,000 a year from Adidas up until a certain point.
Beautiful thing being talented.
So and the first hour wasn't here, but also Bassie signed a deal with Adidas coming out of high school worth anywhere between. So that's why it's a lot of pushback where like he should have went to college, but you got to understand. Tiff is sitting here. She's a mother. If your son was a prominent basketball player and his trajectory was the NBA and a company like Adidas or Nike said, listen, we're going to give you $9 million to sign with us. You got to really think about that because that's generational wealth. That's life-changing money.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say he should have went to college, but I'm like, it's hard when you're from the projects and somebody put a $9 million check in front of you. On the table. Like I think if the kid would have went to college, he would have been a 15, 20 year pro. Because I just think that he needed a little bit more experience. But you send a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid directly to the NBA and the company that signed him gave him $8 million. His life is different now. You get what I'm saying? It ain't really I'm not saying he didn't love the game anymore, but now everything he wants is at his disposal.
Yeah.
So it's like it's too much too soon, unprepared. Is going to be a train wreck.
It can definitely go.
You get what I'm saying? So the only thing I didn't like about the whole Bassie and Steph thing is that, and I know this was in the first hour, but I was missing. So that's
so
why I'm
good.
Going
now
back
talk
to
about it. You in now?
I believe that they should have leaned on Stephon a little bit more. Whereas, ask him what should we do with Bassie? Should we sign with Adidas and enter lottery, or should we go to college? Should we? I think they should have leaned on Steph because Steph went through everything that Bassie went through.
But it sounded like it was a lot of competition between the families.
It was because now it's like you made it, but we're gonna make we Bassie about to make it. But he's gonna be better than you.
That's what it
sounded like. They felt like they had it under wraps.
Facts.
And they wanted to say it's almost like the family saying, yeah, you made it, but look, we got the little brother that's he gonna be better. But it shouldn't have been that. It should have been all love where it's like, okay, Steph, what you think Bassie should do? What you should do this. A lot of people don't understand. Bassie was a high school player, a phenom, the best player in New York, but he's 16 years old, 17 years old in the 40-40 with Jay-Z and Rockefeller hanging out.
Sounds familiar, don't it? Lenny Cook.
So his brother, Jamel Thomas, aka 530.
You want to get him up here too.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get him up
was
here.
Like, you know, he in Bassie's day, he put hands on him because he's trying to keep him on the straight and narrow. Where it's like, bro, we trying to get to where we going. Like you speedballing right now and wanting to hang out with the movers and the shakers.
That's crazy.
But you need to pump your brakes. And then this is what the breakdown was. A lot of people don't know this. Bassie said it, but a lot of people didn't know this. Stephon and Jay-Z always had a little not cool with each other.
He
for
said,
one,
Marbury, you can lose your life
for one,
stoplight.
He put Steph in his lyrics saying don't confront me out this bitch. You might fuck around, like you might lose your life.
Because of the terror squad.
Run up on me at the life, you might lose your life. Because Steph got robbed at gunpoint.
Yes.
In Manhattan, in his Bentley at the red light.
Yep.
But Steph was cool with Fat Joe.
Yep.
We know Jay-Z and Fat
Terror
Joe was
squad.
never cool with each other.
Facts.
And it's also was always rumblings of they was fucking with the same chicks behind the scenes.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. So
Jay-Z and Fat Joe?
No,
And
Jay-Z and Marbury.
Oh.
So they was dealing with like the same
NBA money,
circle of
money.
women.
No
That's,
comparison.
women that's outside and they know who the guys are.
Yeah.
And
Shout
then
out
one
to three.
and one day, Steph said to Jay-Z, "Get off my little cousin Dick. Leave Bassy alone. Get off my little cousin Dick."
Wow.
And that's when the relationship changed with Jay-Z and Bassy. With Jay-Z kind of, and Bassy was upset because he said he thought that Steph and his brother was hating on his relationship with Jay-Z, but all they was trying to do was tell him, "Bro, you 16. You shouldn't be in the 40-40. You should be in school, worried about where you trying to go." Because Braun and Jay-Z met through them.
Facts.
And Braun was always on a straight and narrow. Braun wasn't hanging out with Jay-Z when he was still in high school.
This is Jules.
You get what I'm saying? So Braun got to the mountaintop, and that's why Jay-Z could say on the end of the record, "LeBron is my little man." You get what I'm saying? And they still fuck with him to this day.
Instead of a nigga from the city that you grew up from,
exactly,
in the same borough you grew up in, you can't even say that.
So the right thing to do is when you a guy already established, whether you're a rapper, actor, whatever, and you see the little young guy that's a phenom and he headed to that same plateau, he could be great. You supposed to tell him, "Go home."
Facts.
Like, why are you you don't even belong in here right now? You 17 years old. Why are you in the club?
And
like Lenny said, the only person that told him was Jim told him, but he was hanging out with Clue, Fab, and countless others, and he was in the club with them. It's greater later. I tell the kids that all the time.
Don't rush.
It's greater later.
Why was they saying stuff about Lenny Cook when he was talking about Steph? I mean, Teflon was talking, and it was like, "Yo, we getting Lenny Cook vibes or something."
Because it's kind of like the same sandwich, where it's like, "Yo, you downplaying your wrongdoings." That's why they say you giving us Lenny Cook vibes, because they were saying, because Lenny said the same thing. I was outside, I was in the club. Even when I was at ABCD the night before I played against LeBron, I was at fucking Speed. I was doing this, I was doing that. But why is a teenager doing that? Like, you got to keep your eye on a prize. And that's why Steph is one of one, because people who know Steph moved like a pro since he was a middle schooler.
He was groomed.
He was always like that. You know what I'm saying?
His older brothers.
His older brothers taught him that. His mother and father taught him that. So he always moved with the right energy, the right accord, because he knew his ultimate goal was to be an NBA player, because all four of his brothers struck out before he did.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? So
he was the
you can say what you want to say. I always say this to people. You can say whatever you want to say about Steph. But one thing about him, he's a smart motherfucker.
That's a
he
fact.
got to his bag, and he's still getting to this bag
to this
20
day.
years later.
In China, with a statue.
In another country.
Facts.
Black man with his fucking statue in China.
Facts.
Okay,
and being that we only got 6 minutes left, I'll be remiss if we don't talk about this before we get off air.
And what's that?
Kendrick Perkins said that the New York Knicks are the second best team in the Eastern Conference, and they are legitimately championship contenders this year. Huh?
Behind who? Pause.
Behind, I believe it was Philadelphia. He said they're better. They can beat Boston in the playoffs.
You think that the Knicks? So he thinks the Knicks is better than Boston
and Milwaukee. This is what he's saying. Hey man, they said that RJ for transformed the team.
I think they could fool around with Milwaukee. I don't think they better than Boston.
They don't think they better than Boston,
and I don't think they can fuck with Philly. So
what?
Nah, I don't think they can fuck.
If Mitchell Robinson come back, forget about it.
I don't think.
Is he coming back?
They said by the end of the season. That's why they denied the Knicks that exception. They tried to.
By the time he come back, he's not even gonna have a time to ramp up. You know what I'm saying? He's not even gonna have enough time to get back into, you know what I mean, basketball shape. You get what I'm saying? So that's a tough one. But I think the Knicks are right behind. I got Boston, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and then I got New York. So I got them 4 right now. Can they get there? Yeah. I mean, we
top
seen
4.
Yeah, we seen Atlanta do that a few years ago where people didn't think that, but it's all about how the matchup shake out and how good your guys played. The Hawks were in the conference finals 2 years ago.
Facts.
Like nobody thought that, and you can't even tell me 5 guys on that roster.
I can't.
That went to the conference finals with them.
I can't. It was
This
Trae
is what
Young.
I'm saying. So the Knicks have the personnel that if the dice roll the right way and they get the right opponent, I wouldn't be surprised if they won a conference finals versus, say, the Celtics, the Bucks, or the Heat. Like I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. If you tell me that they're gonna win the title, nah, I'm not jacking that.
Yeah, they got smacked to reality last night, man. They underestimated the Mavericks.
They need some bench help. They need some bench help.
Yeah,
the bench help that they had, they got rid of was moving quickly. So they need some production off that pond because every game you watch, and I've been using this to my betting schemes.
Listen close, Sosa. Betting, baby.
The Knicks, when they have to take the starters out, they always lose the lead. Like they'll have an ill lead, and then when they go to their bench, they lose the lead because their bench is kind of thin.
But this is what Tibbs been doing though, and I'm glad you said that because I realized that after they got rid of Quickly, what he would do, he would either leave Brunson in the game with the bench, or Randall in the game with the bench. He'll let one of them rest on the bench, while the other one runs with the second unit. Then he interchanges and bringing them back to either finish the game or come into a crucial moment in the third quarter to kind of maintain or come back. Like they came back against Dallas last night. They just got out rebounded in the last possession, and that kind of killed them. They could have won that game. They should have won that game because after the first quarter, they got outscored like 40. They let the Mavericks score 40-something points in the first quarter. After that, the Knicks got their scruples together. They outplayed Dallas the rest of the game, but they let Kyrie go off for 40, and they let Tim Hardaway Jr. score 30-something points, and that kind of doomed them for the game. And then they had a couple of bench players that hit some big shots down the stretch, but there's no excuse. They shouldn't have lost that game. They should have won that game without Luka there, but you know what happens, man. It's basketball. But as far as Perkins is concerned, I thought it was a stretch because, yes, I am a diehard Knicks fan. I still think that they are one piece away. I think that they need a legitimate one player. I don't think Brunson is a legitimate one. Even though he scores, he shoots the basketball entirely too much. And I think that's what Kyrie showed the Knicks last night. He didn't have to shoot 30-something times to score 40 points. He still had 10 assists, and he shot less than 30 times to get his 40-something points. He was just efficient from the field. And I think that's what the Knicks are missing. But it's going to be tough to incorporate a player like that with guys that are used to shooting that much to get their points. So, right now, the Knicks, the organization is trying to get Randall and Brunson on an all-star team. It may not work for either one of them unless it comes down to the coaches. But, it's a lot of me guys, man. They need somebody else, man, to kind of make that championship run, in my opinion.
So you think they have 2 all-stars? You think they deserve 2 all-stars?
No, I don't think Julius Randle nor Jalen Brunson.
But they both are kind of playing on the same level where it's like either or. I wouldn't be mad at either or making it. I don't think both are gonna make it.
But think about it, 3. That's like you got a green light to shoot on a bad team all day. Your numbers are gonna. That's like some what's his name, Tyrone Mack.
So you don't think Julius Randle is having an all-star season?
No.
Okay. So you don't think Brunson's
why?
Having an
Why I
season?
say that? Because the quality of his shots.
No, I get that. But what they sitting right now? 3 or 4 right now?
Sitting 4 right now.
Sitting 4.
Yeah.
They have won a record. I mean, I think they deserve 1 all-star.
Yeah, maybe 1, man.
But I don't think both are gonna make it. If you had to choose, if somebody said Brunson or Randle for the all-star game.
Brunson.
Okay, you choosing Brunson.
Hands down, he's been the most consistent out of the 2.
I agree with that. I think he's been more consistent. I think as of late, I think Randle had turned it up a little bit, but consistent from start to where we are now, I think Brunson deserves the nod. And I think that eventually that he's gonna make his first all-star appearance.
Yeah, off the coaches, because right now, if the fans,
I think the coaches respect what he brings to the table, and they're gonna vote him into the game. You know what I mean? Even though that shit really don't mean that all-star shit really don't mean nothing. But they start putting it in these players' contracts, so it does mean something to them.
Facts. So that's what they've been going for: stats, numbers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's your Monica? Facts over stats.
Facts over stats. Man.
Word up.
Facts over stats.
Am I supposed to receive an email or something for this prize picks? because they was like somebody will be with you, and nobody got to me. So what am I supposed to get a confirmation or something? I don't know. It said somebody will contact you.
Hey, well, we gonna look at that.
So you went to Prize Picks?
Yeah, hey,
whatever app you did, only Prize Picks.
Oh, we gonna take it off of air though.
Okay. We can do that. I hit 3 tickets last week. I'm good.
3 tickets. Shout out to 3. He had 3.
What app you got?
Word up, man. Shout out to everybody that checked in. Shout out to my brother Bryce Breezy. See you on the check-in, man. We gonna be in Arizona for that March.
Bryce, you bugging. You bugging with that Bassy take, Bryce.
Yeah. You
told
know,
me you
Bryce,
gonna be tuning
Breezy
in.
Hit me up like, yo, still, y'all gotta talk about this.
We're gonna see you in Arizona, man. Make sure you have the red carpet laid out.
Yeah.
Show us the town.
Word up.
Man. I already booked my flight. I ain't get my room.
Why ain't tell me, nigga? I'm about to book
I did it. I be moving, man. I be moving. I'm trying to go to the game. You get what I'm saying?
March.
Shout out my brother Talik Brown in St. John's. He hit me yesterday. I'm definitely gonna tap in, and we need to get Talik here too. Nah, that's nothing. That's nothing. So, Ty, we need you up here, but I'm definitely gonna come through and fuck with St. John's and check out one of the games they doing their thing. Shout out to UConn and Danny Hurley and my man Kamani over there, the associate head assistant. You know what I mean? They doing their thing as well. But we definitely gotta get to a game. I think I'm gonna go to one at the Garden or either one at UBS when they play Hofstra, because that's family with Speedy Claxton and also with St. John's as well. So
all right, so say less, man. Word up, man. So shout out to everybody that tuned in today, man. No off season on Bars and Hoops Radio, man. We appreciate everybody checking live on Facebook, checking live on YouTube, checking live on the Bars and Hoops Radio app, man. Y'all know every Friday 8 to 10, man. No off season featuring myself, Stills the Great, Tip Sosa, 3D, and DJ JOJ on the ones and twos, man. So until next week, we got a special invited guest in the building. Goes by the name of Champ, man. But we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.
And
Almighty.